Hello everyone, you're watching episode 139 of Let's Plant. My name is Chuck, and like I said, today is Judgment Day. Well, actually, the judging process happens tonight. It is supposed to happen around 7:30 p.m. It's only noontime, but I have to get ready because I have to bring my plants over. And yeah, let's see what we can do. I still have a bit of time, but I want to bring over everything in just one trip. So I have to be absolutely sure that everything is here, and I have to prepare all of my plants as well as my recording equipment. So let's go do that. Last episode, I was doing a little bit of fitting, just checking to see if all of the plants would fit. And I've determined that they would fit inside the boot and with the seats extended, with the seats collapsed down. Remember how I pushed these seats down, but there's a bit of space underneath where you would, place your feet. I am thinking that I can place some trays or a box in there and place some of the smaller plants. So between these two seats, there's still a bit of space for me to use. That would mean that the front would be dedicated for all of my filming equipment. So that takes care of that problem. And yeah, I think I should place this back up for now. That way I could prepare the little boxes, the little trays, or maybe even crates if I have them, and place some of the smaller plants in there. So let's go do that. I've been looking around the garden and I found this. This is a crate. I am not sure if this would fit under the seat, but I'm going to try it anyway. It appears that it won't, so I have to look for a smaller box. Maybe this will do. This is actually perfect. Yep, it fits underneath. So we'll go look for some of the smaller plants and place them in here. I'm not sure if you can see this, but I've got two of the smaller dish gardens in this box, so that's two down. But at least I could say that I'm making a very efficient use of space. There's another box that I would like to look for, and I'm going to use it for this particular arrangement. I need a smaller box. I think this one will do. So what I'm going to do is, the box is actually bigger than this dish, but what I'll be doing is to reinforce it from both sides. That way it won't be shifting around or moving around too much during transit. I just need to find some sort of material, or maybe even pots, just to fill up the gaps and push against it. That way it won't move around too much. There are a bunch of pots here which I think might be too big. Yeah, they seem to be too big, so I have to look for smaller ones. So I've got slightly smaller pots here, which might work. Yes, they work. Perfect. I've reinforced one side, I just need to work on another side. Yeah, and this looks like it won't be moving around anytime soon. So here, it is reinforced now. And again, I'll be placing this underneath, or rather behind the car seat, behind the front seat. Looks like only one box would fit per side, so I'm going to transfer this on the other side. Much better. Now to get rid of this. Perfect. Now I won't be needing this ones anymore. It's too big and bulky, but we'll see. There are still other smaller pots that I could stow away. Maybe I could find some narrow boxes, so that would be very useful. Something like this, but it is too high. And this one works. I need to find smaller pots that would fit in here. So I think this lilac chain is perfect because it would fit inside the pot, and the plant itself is not going over the bowl, over the pot, which means that it won't be damaged as I slide it in. So we'll do that now. and it has a snug fit. Well, it's bulging a bit, but it's only the tip or the top of the lip. I think the lip of the pot, and there's enough space for it here. Very good, and that takes care of that. I might be able to fit one more that looks something like that, and I have more of the same type of boxes. Let's go look around again. This time I'm going with this brown rose. It has the same configuration in that the plant itself is not going over the bowl. It's just the flowers, but I can turn it around such that the flowers do not hit the sides. So slide it right in. Alright, so this side is completely full. I can push down the seats again, but slight problem. When retracting, the rear seats are pushing forwards, so I'm hoping this doesn't crush any of those plants. Yep, they look fine. I'll have to see what happens to this other side when the seats are retracted. It's the same thing. I just have to be very careful then. You know what? I'll have to think this through a bit. False alarm, everything's perfectly fine. It's just that the flaps of the boxes were outwards, so I had to fold them in. That way they would not push against the seat, you know, not give enough resistance. And with that done, I can now place this, cover this area with tarp. That way any spillage would not spill over to the mat or onto the car. Want to keep things clean. Something like this is perfect. Now that the tarp is on, I can start putting the plants in. I'll be back. Okay, so far I've placed the larger pots in, the larger pots with the larger plants, and that takes care of them. Now all I have to do is to place in the rest of the pots, the smaller ones. I need to make sure that the wider or the pots with the wider bases or the bowls should be somewhere around the edge, because these bowls, the bowls that are wider than they are taller, they have a lower center of gravity, which means that they are less likely to topple over. So they have to be reinforcing the edges here. And somewhere in the middle between all of the bowls would be the taller pots. That way, when they move around in the car or rub or bump into each other, they would not be falling over because they are tall. There's lots of contact for friction, which means that, you know, like I said, they are not going to topple over. The edges would be filled with the smaller pots, the lower pots, the bowls. So I'm liking the arrangement so far. Let's fill it up. So I'd like to show you what I've done so far. As you can see, on both sides there are plants in here. Some of the taller pots, so they would fit inside this little hole along the sides on either side of the boot. And as for the inside, let me just zoom it in. So as you can see, the taller pots are somewhere around there, surrounding or next to the taller pots, and plugging them in would be this blue bowl. And reinforcing the blue bowl are these two smaller bowls here. And that means that everything that's in there so far would not be doing any movement, no budging, because they are flush against each other. So far so good. Now we just have to fill the rest of the gaps. That would be really easy. Time check, it is 1:46 p.m. I was planning to head out around noontime, you know, to arrive at 1 p.m. But I had to make sure, triple check, double check, quad check, penta check, you know, that everything that I need is here, because I wouldn't want to make trips back and forth because it would be a waste of time. So yeah, I think the only thing that I would need would be an outlet socket, just in case I need to recharge any of my batteries. But still, I'm surely going to find something there. I just need to make sure that I have all of my chargers here, which I just made. So yeah, final checks ready, It's time to go. After about an hour of careful and considerate driving, I'm finally here in the community center. So I just have to have a look inside, take a peek, and see if we're ready to set up. So let's do that. So I'm done setting up my display area. I've got all of my plants here. The show plants are on the tables. And yeah, I guess from here on out, I just have to sit back and relax and wait for the judging process to begin. But unfortunately, I parked in a 2-hour parking slot, so I'll have to move my car and move it over to an open parking space. Just across the street there, that's the train station, and there are open hour parking slots. So yeah, it would be safer for me to move it there, else I would be fined. I don't want to get fined. After a few minutes. So I finally moved my car. We're safe. I still have the time to spare, so I figured why not go look around. Take a look at this one. This is so ridiculous. Wow. Here are the trophies for the competition, and I really hope I can get my name there someday. It is 4:30. There's still a lot of space here. So far, there are so many plants now, and we're expecting more to arrive within the next hour or so. Here are some of our entries in the Echeverria class. Not a lot of plants on this section yet, but we'll see what happens in an hour or so. Still got lots of time. But on this side, take a look at this. It's pretty full. So this half here, the left half where we're standing at right now, this is the novice part. And right on the other side, that is for the open part. So just for reference, we came over from that side, going here, and we're now facing the other way. So we're looking at the open division. And the cards here would be blue, as opposed to novice, where everything would be red or orange. Red-orange, whatever that is. But yeah, things are slowly filling up, so let's see what happens. This is a very interesting planter. But the show is not all there is. Of course, there's a plant sale going on. So here we are right at the entrance, and let me walk you through the entire building. When you arrive, you will walk in through these doors, and you'll be signing in on this table. And as you enter, you will be in this hall. There would be some plants, so the selling area starts here. And as you move over to the side, there are 2 rooms on either side of this exhibit. So one wing would be somewhere around here. And we've got the sellers setting up their stuff now. Everything is still on the floor, but pretty soon we'll see everything up on the tables. So this is the first room. We're going to have a look at the other side. Now before we go to the next room, off to the side, the main hall, we see this other floor. There's lots of plants here. So more plants, more cacti, more. And yeah, it's so easy to get absolutely crazy in here. And if we go to the other wing, It's a big area, and there are more sellers, more plants, more tables. Look at those aloes. So yeah, pretty crazy in here, huh? There's lots of plants, lots of pots, and even more coming up in the next hour or so. So if you're thinking of coming to the society, or at least coming to the show, definitely make it here, because there's lots of plants to be had. These are the collection boxes. Usually you would take one of these and go to each seller as you purchase your stuff. You place them here, although a lot of the time people bring their own baskets and stuff, so that would be easier. But if you forgot to bring a basket or you just need an extra container, then this ones will do. So these tables at the far right corner are reserved for display plants. So far only a few of us have brought some displays in, but we're pretty sure this will be filled up. And here's our display. The logo right there. Here are some hanging basket entries. Some crested brains and a whole lot of cacti. So again, we'll be waiting for the whole area to fill up before we take another look at the place. We'll be back. So we may have a problem here. I previously thought that this meant the plant should be under 14 centimeters, but apparently it's a pot. So three of my entries are disqualified. But on the upside, my plant display is looking a lot more crowded now. Woohoo!
what you do, what the judge will do is get one of these that's folded under. The judge will go around with their pen, pencil or whatever works and just mark on there. The steward will then take it out from under the pot, shove it in, which is real easy, punch a hole, tear that off, put it back under the pot. Again, you can leave the name out. And save these until you get a few, not too many. And if it's a first, blue, second, red, third, green, just beside the plant. By that stage, the judge would have gone to the next class, hopefully have finished. So if there's two people with the judge, take it in alternate terms to bring the stuff up to here, so there's still one other person, so the judge can go a whole lot quicker.
And when you're collecting them, please also collect the tear off for the non.
Yes.
For the more. So what I'd like to get is every tear off. That way I know how many were in every class, and I can see how many were first, second, third, and the balance.
The balance. We didn't know
And
about
it gives
that.
us then a number of how
We
many
know
entries
whether
in the
there's
shop.
60 people, 60
So you want them all?
plants,
I
or
want them
whether
all.
there's
I want them all.
250. Yes.
Yeah.
I know on the cards there's the HM for honourable
Don't worry
mention,
about it.
no
No.
ribbons. So, okay,
No.
you're not allowed to HM.
No
anything?
HM.
No HM, first,
We
second,
don't
third
have.
only.
We don't have.
No, I was just double checking,
Been
because I know
before.
in the past we had them, so that's all
Okay.
good, excellent.
Once
But no
we've
cross
done your class, if you could let me know, and we'll then sort out what we're going to do with the 500s and the hanging baskets, and then the judges, the stewards then can be thanked very kindly and can depart, and the judges will go through and work out the trophies and ribbons for the champions.
What we're doing here is, okay, cross off that we found it, so that's, okay, now we can choose these, see if this, now, first off, we test the word astrophytum and see, is everything an astrophytum? Almost not, it's a digit stigma which is borderline, it is, they're all acceptably an astrophytum, so that's the first thing. There are 4 units in there, now I can see if there's a first, second and third. I don't have to give all 3, I may only give a second, I may only give a first, but I've got that option, just so you know. Now, I'm just having a look at this. First thing I look at is judging, is there anything flowering? I see no flowers, so that's a bonus point, they don't have that. I look for dirty pots that can take a point away, that's a plastic pot, that's a negative. That's a good pot, good pot, good pot, well presented, so already, and that's not even in the middle of the pot. There's a negative point, 2 negative points, just to give you an idea of how I operate. Now I look at those 3 and I think, now I want to choose already, that can't be first, second, if anything that could be a third, but so that's rarer, but rarity is not, it's about presentation. So looking at these 3 here, I would say that's probably bigger, it's older, the pot's well balanced. I would say that's a first, so we have a first. Okay, so what we do here is, take this off. Well, so yeah, take it first, put that there.
I've
I've got to punch it, so I've got to mark it first. Come over there, mark it. I think I have to do this bit first. So I've got to. Does that work?
As much as I can see, there's spines off.
Anyway, that's what I. So you can punch that one through both sides.
Which would have had this one.
And that can go. So I'm now.
Then I take this bottom part.
Correct. This goes back under here, like so. And now, looking at a second, that's probably higher value than that one, and it's more central in the pot. It's borderline, but I'd take that as a second. So we have a second. Now I'm marking the second. You can punch that out. Do the same. Okay, second ribbon.
Yeah.
Second ribbon. Oh, sorry. Second. Okay, and I will give it the third. It's super rare, but it's borderline. It was not exactly well centered, and that really bothers me as a judge. Okay, so there's a third. I'll take the third ribbon. Sorry, so I'll take that. So
Yeah, they all are, because I've travelled a long way on this, just to change.
And we need to take this as well.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yes, just here. Good one. Good. See, you're in charge. You. Good one. Okay. Next number we have on the sheet.
Should I put the label?
102. Oh,
This under?
yes. That's
Like-
okay. That's good.
We'll take the first.
Not critical, but yeah. Okay. All right.
If you think there's nothing that's deserving of the first prize, don't give it. In novice, there always has to be a first, second and third, regardless, as long as there's 3 plants, of course.
Negative. That's very nice. Bit crowded. Very nice. That's very nice. I don't know if I love the pot, but I love the pot there. But that's crowded. That's a little bit too big a pot, but I still think I would give that the first. The balance and the look is very nice. It's very beautiful. I'd have that on the coffee table. Do you have it first? Here for you. One of mammillaria. Yes, all on mammillaria. Okay. Very good. Bent. Flowers on this side, not on that side.
I just corrected the
Brown
name.
spine. Matches the brown pot. I like that. I approve of that. That's got balance. If anything, I would say, and that's a good indicator. That's value. See, so I actually don't like that pot. There's too much distraction. That is perfect. So I've got a first, a second. That's almost a first. The colour match matters a lot, but that's
That's your
first.
first spot?
I don't know if you can do that. I don't know. I'm not the head judge. Hey Wayne, can we have two firsts?
In novice, I'm happy with that, yeah.
All right, got it. Anyway.
Not in nature.
Nice.
Two first. And now I'm going to pick a third. Probably this one. More flowers open, and it's not bad, but it's definitely bent. I hate bent plants in the pot. If they're going on a show, a bent plant is no good. irrigated plants, sometimes seedling raised, can be quite rare.
An octopus with a spider web. Now that's different.
Now, 501, so we know it's under.
That's very different.
Might actually be a spider.
Right.
You think that's meant to be a spider? No, spider legs.
The jumping spiders have.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I kind of get it.
Yeah, I could see the octopus as well. So.
Now I kind of get it.
What does it mean? So one
Well, it's a jumping spider. They have different hairy legs. To me, they look like an octopus. But that's the octopus.
that's quite nice. First, second, and third.
Right. I think this one first.
It took a bit over 2 hours, but we finally made it to the end. I'll be showing you the results in the next episode, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.